some people have had, very healthy relationships in the past. It's just that they just can't get it out of their head. If they see something, yo, I need it. I need that. There's
Facts,
no
facts.
tomorrow. Yo, listen, let me cancel that thing. I'm going over here. And them kind of ones. So it's the mindset, Mark. It's a lost thing. It's all it is, Mark. With outside of the obvious, these people just cannot control their lustful thoughts and needs. Simple.
That's it, man. And that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. There's not no hate of man's career or none of that. Big him up, man. Big him up. But again, I'm just a realist. And when I get on this mic, I'm going to say it as it is. And the facts are, folks, I remember when Man's Not Hot came out, I was labeled Man's Not Hot by an individual. Someone called out and said that.
What?
Yes, no, but I was in a professional setting, an office setting, and an indigenous individual who identifies as, no, a mixed race individual who identifies as indigenous. And people are screwing that we use that word, indigenous. Like, that's all. Why you keep using it? That's who, if you man are saying you're British safe, I'm talking about me. When my forefathers come here, they came here and seen white people, folks. I know that offends a lot of man. I'm not talking about who was first on the land. The culture shaped by them. Fish and chips, all that beer and all them vindaloos and all that is shaped by them, not by us. So stop pretending. Stop pretending. Indigenous. So this mixed race person who identifies as indigenous called out to me, who was there in a more serious capacity. Let's put it like that.
Clearly?
Yeah. My badge holds more weight in the setting I was in. A temporary setting, by the way. A temporary setting to show you that it was a contract situation. And the person said, yo, man's not hot. I swear it. And I looked at the person and said, yo, what did you just call me? And she laughed and said, yo, man's not hot. I said, yo, don't ever say them things to me again. Don't ever say it. And she went bright red. And I'm showing you now that I get it, that man find them things funny and they say, oh, it's comedic. I'm just showing you how the other side of the coin goes. There's a couple things I don't play with, I don't play around with Rasta, Like I don't play with that at all.
Never.
Because what a lot of mans don't understand is our fathers, yeah, when they were growing up in the UK, they had it rough. A lot of you man's dad wouldn't have sat down and spoke to you the way how my dad and my uncle and some of the elders I've got them to go to the deep depths of their memory.
Yeah.
And they grew up rough, Like, remember, they were caught between the Windrush, who come here and never had much of anything, and they had to just figure it out. That was it. It was in a place that didn't really want them here, and they had to figure it out. And I'm saying, Rasta saved a lot of them men.
100%.
That ideology and that way of life, at the time, I know a lot of mans used it for wrong. I know a lot of mans were pretenders, but it saved a lot of that generation. So I don't joke around when it comes to comedy around that, because there is some low-hanging fruit that came from that ideology, but they're not representative of the full picture.
Of the whole.
So Mo Gilligan and all these other, you're not even from that cloth, mate. So for me, your woman ain't even of that cloth. Like, joke about that. Joke about you checking bonnet. You see, it don't feel good, does it? When mans make them jokes, does it? It don't feel good, lads, does it? That's how I feel when mans joke about Rasta and everything Black British. That's how I feel. So we even. Because when I'm joking about you and your love for the bunnies, and it is true, you love them unconditionally.
Yeah.
You'll do anything. Yeah.
It's choices. Look, for the good or the bad, we all have the opportunity in life to make choices, and it's a lot more acceptable and trendy these days. Well, for the last 20 odd years, man, maybe even longer, for people of the diaspora to shun their heritage and rather to have someone who reflects them and their parents to go with, the indigenous woman. And again, it's they're free to do that.
Yeah, facts.
But it causes friction, number one, and it's going to cause rippling repercussions within their generational bloodline doing that.
Facts. Just go on to the clip on the Express Truth Clips channel. Look in the comments, and there's people who have actually said, there's one woman who said, yo, I see my family go from black to white in 60 years. A
See
big
there?
woman, just go in the comments. People don't listen to me. She said that. She said, I see it go from black to white in less than 60 years. Completely.
Not
Completely. And what I'm saying to you, that's fine if that's what our man wants to do. But I'm saying them kind of man, they get on by stepping on what we do, how we move. Forget them road man jokes and all that. I get it, but it's not them who man end up taking the fun out of the man who looks like them or the man who may speak like them, because we all share a slang. We all share a certain slang. That never came from roadman. That's Black British youth that built that slang.
Come on.
So what I'm saying is, man's made their whole career off. You're not even built like that, bro. You're not even on none of that, but you made your career off that. And what I'm saying is, you're making jokes out of something you're not going to be a part of in 30 years. You man are not going to be black in 30 years. Like, I don't care how it sounds. Like, you're not going to be. So I don't listen.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when people are like, oh, Cole Palmer, he loves his people and that. And I'm like, he's an innocent bystander. Like, he ain't done nothing wrong. He didn't ask to be born. Exactly. I'm just saying that if he's born and he knows my granddad's black, we're not speaking about him. I'm talking about his granddad. That's who man are talking about. The granddad who didn't have any sort of how can we word it? Let me not misword this. I'm saying the granddad didn't. No, let me word it right. The granddad represents a man of that time who thought white was right. And that's these are facts. You can't be upset at facts, folks. A fact is a fact. These men were conditioned a certain way to think white is right. Now I get it. A lot of men will say like, black girl, they like in that thing, man was saying, oh, they don't want a nuclear family and this and that. That for black women, but I think that's something of recent. And we have to be careful. We got to be careful too, folks, with how that conversation goes, because a lot of black women, their mom, let's have the conversation today, Noble. Their mom may have been, and I'm speaking from people that I know, you might have a black woman who she sets out in life, yeah? She hasn't been given the correct tools from the Windrush generation. So we're speaking about my mom's age group. So she leaves the Windrush generation, the dad and the mom, that's the nuclear family. She hasn't been given the tools of a zero tolerance attitude or none of that. She hasn't been given it. So she goes out there, meets someone, their word is their bond. Whatever goes on, the relationship breaks down, whatever the case may be, she now gives the next generation the tools to stand on their own, the women.
Yes.
I'm now talking about my generation. So she gives them the tools. You can't trust no man. You can't put all your eggs in basket with no man. You need to hold on the house strong. I'm every woman. You need to be this strong, independent. Listen, it was Destiny's Child and that was raising my sisters with the music. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? All that women empowerment shit. And what happened is it brought through a hybrid of what we're seeing today. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. It brought through a hybrid, but I'm saying that it was a journey. But even like yesterday, I was talking to my people and giving them a historical journey down our journey. And I was saying, listen, this dysfunction between us, man and woman, in our community, you got to understand where it's coming from, folks. There was a time, and it's going to get dark what I'm saying, folks, but man need to really understand how this thing was done. Let me start off by saying this. Just because we, as a community, think short term, that's not the norm. That ain't the norm whatsoever. Other communities, they think, and I'm talking about the higher echelon of communities, they're thinking long term. Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting at is, when mans was going through a certain dark time back in the day, you could have your woman, and children. And one day, the plantation people may have come in and said, I'm splitting you up. Them man are going way over there, and you're going way over here, and that's it. And that's it. There was no more talking. The wife's going to look and say, you can't stop this. You're the man. You're my husband. You can't stop this. And you couldn't do anything. And if you did try to, they're making an example just to show her none of them man can save you. Let me give you another example. Give you another example. We spoke about Braveheart the other day. We don't even need to use them. They done that to us. You'd have your wife and some little plantation worker or whatever would come over. Let me say it straight. And she would come out and you would have to hold that. Mm-hmm. If you rebelled against it, an example would be made, and your wife would know this man can't help me at all with nothing. A man can't do nothing. Now they still had to live. There weren't no workers union or not. They still had to live and know we still have to live out this shitty life to be able to have. We still got to live it out, and we just got to live with a hope that one day it's not like this anymore.
Exactly.
That time come when it weren't like this anymore, but the feeling was still there. The feeling was the distrust of the man was still there, and the man still carries to this day. You know, there's men who still carry that feeling, who's never one day even been in the sun, mate. They ain't even been back on the land, but they still carry that distrust themselves. Like, I gotta be 1 foot out, because that's where they're coming from historically, mentally. These things were done. So let's go back to what I said at the start of the convo. Other communities do things for a long-term effect, not thinking about today, they're thinking about the next 100 years. Man's got broken, completely and utterly broken. Fast forward to today. A man like Mo Gilligan lives his life. He don't know none of that stuff. If I was talking that stuff and he was watching, he'd turn it off. He don't care. And I'm talking about a community that I'm talking about. He may represent millions of people like that. They don't care what man's came from or not. They don't care. In my zone, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In my zone, there's a temple, a Sikh temple, if that's the correct terminology. And every week, these mans block the roadblock to go in, and the picture on the wall looks like them. And it's all them. You don't see no next man in there saying nothing, doing nothing. It's all them in there. This is in the UK. Roadblock Ram in there, gathering, worshipping what it is they come from. And don't get it twisted. They've had their dark moments in history, but they're maintaining that community within this country. We ain't had that, folks. We ain't had that. And the women, that distrust comes from generations ago. And then you got the same African American toxicity. I know we got a couple on here, big is up. I'm on about it's hit them as well, because they're the only ones with a similar plight to ours. Let's be real, Noble. So
that genetic memory is continued on, and it's only certain ones who have been able to break that genetic curse and those generational curses from doing that. One other thing which we forgot to say was outside of that, they had studs, and the studs would be the brothers who had a certain specific look, physicality, and those brothers would be taken across plantation to plantation to impregnate women, to then bring forth offspring with his genetics.
There you go.
Whether that's to be working in the field or whether it would have the buck fighting.
Facts.
It's deep, man.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. So this is what I'm saying. That we're talking about a little from when the man's got off the boat. That's just a saying, by the way, because I know everyone didn't get off a boat. But from when that happened to now, that's just a short time, folks. That's a short time. You may think it's long. In reality, 50 years ain't even long.
This is the point.
This is what mans ain't even understanding. So mans are breeding out their thing. And what I'm saying to you is, this is not something new. Argentina had a community of Africans. Google this stuff. Go out there and learn this stuff. They had a community, and it was strategically done that they bred themselves out. They no longer exist today. They don't exist. They bred themselves out. I don't know how long it took, but they bred, and we're just going through that now. That's all it is. We're just going through it. We're just going through the motions. That's all we're doing now. So when man are talking about a Mo Gilligan, I'm talking about if man can make fun of man's thing and make it that I'm in certain spaces and people are joking on man, we can joke on you too.
Oh,
because you've been brainwashed to think that everything non-black holds more value. That's it. It's a fact. You've been brainwashed to think that everything non-black holds more value than anything that's black. And and people tell me if I don't call it out. Tell me if I'm lying. I say it with the gangs. They self-hate. And I'm talking about they're probably the lowest of the low in the community because they're damaged. I'm talking about historically. I'm talking about the mans who don't have no sort of compassion or who don't take on board what the elders are saying. I've made multiple videos about the guys who mashed up the community and then turn around and turn Muslim. People hate when I say that, but it's facts. It's facts. And I'm willing to debate any man, and they don't want it because they know it's facts. Because I seen it with my own eyes. I seen it. And the reason it's like that is because it's self-hating individuals. Not all of them. Not all of them. Certain men have been good people before and after. You get what I'm saying? But certain man, you didn't believe in nothing, and you hate yourself. You look in the mirror and you hate yourself. So now, when you at the lowest of the low, look how long Big Man was telling these men for years. Yo, bro, come on, man.
And then
Come on, man, fix up, man. See what I mean? We ain't got long here, man. Do your thing, man. Just fix up. Man wanted to be a bad man. You want to be a good man. You want to be
trendy.
a wicked man. You haven't been taught that there's always going to be a mirror image of you out there. Always a mirror image of you who feels the same way you feel. I'm undefeated. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. No one can't chat to me. And then that's when you get these clashes. I'm not going to say of the Titans because there's no Titans involved. But you just get a clash then. One person dies, one goes to jail. And we've seen that story repeated time after time. Man, you know how much times people sent the platform some argument that happened the other day where a man killed, I think, a son or something like that at a barber shop. You know that story?
Yeah.
Now, how much times can we break these stories down? We've said it. Anger. These men are full of anger. I keep telling folks, it can be something as small as a barber shop. There's anger. There's brothers walking around who are full of it. Anger, they're completely enraged with anger. And it only takes something small to trigger rage. We say it. Stories like that ain't shocking because there's a million men walking around like that. A million who are full of anger. Probably don't even know why.
No.
Oh, no man can't chat to me. And it's only when he realizes, damn, I keep seeing all these youth workers online talking about, and I know I might get some pushback for this, but I gotta keep it real. I keep seeing all these youth workers talking about, oh my God, I seen a youth today get life and, you know, we were crying and rare. And I'm like, yo, these men only realize that when that happens, we're trying to prevent these things. We're trying to prevent these men only realize that when it actually happens. Like, it's too late now, bro. It's too late. That's what you wanted to run this. You wanted to be that. I remember when a man said to me, you know, I'm on some preacher vibes. I said, all right, safe.
I'll hold that
safe.
title.
Because them same preacher vibes you will listen to one day and realize it was facts. You realize it was facts. Like, yo, it was factual what man was saying, and I didn't take heed. I didn't listen.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. And now, you know, I was running around angry.
And you see that?
Over.
I didn't understand. I didn't overstand. I didn't understand. You see, this the problem with people. They want to keep their mouth shut all the time. Ask questions, man. What do you mean? Hold it down. What are you talking about? I'm making money. That gives man an opportunity to really drop some further jewels. But these a lot of people these days, and this is forget even being on the road. This can just be across the board when you're trying to impart knowledge to someone. It's a glazed look. Yeah. Word up. Blah, 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 blah. Rather than, well, why are you saying that to me? Tell me why I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing and living the lifestyle that I'm living. Because that reflection and that answer coming back, it's going to give you the real reality check. Like, wow, well, why am I doing this? What am I lacking in myself that I can go around and terrorize people in the same vicinity that I live? This is our block. This is our block. I'm going to go to the ops of where, man? What are you talking about? You're going to be younger for a lot shorter period of time than you're going to be older.
Facts. A lot of them don't understand that, Noble.
Like it's so you really think at 40 you're going to be outside of let's say 187 Maple Drive repping your block outside Mr. Singh's flipping co-op.
You might only do that for 5 years. Look at the stages life. Look how fast life changes, Noble. Look how fast the stages of life. I always tell you as I get on here and I say, in my life, because I can't speak for others, I feel like it works in blocks of 5. So it'll be like, for 5 years, like I'll look at things I was doing 5 years ago and be like, damn, I've evolved so much from that time. Or you might look 10 years ago. It works in blocks of 5. You're constantly changing. Aisha Jade, what black men like Mo need to realize is that other races will not accept the poor behavior black women have had to endure, e.g., being a deadbeat, etc. Other communities will turn on you quick. Facts.
Right. Obviously, when you was growing up, as you've highlighted in regards to the complexion of Eddington at the time, it wasn't like growing up in Greens where there was a whole heap of black folk.
No, it wasn't that at all. I can give man the real breakdown on from them days, from how it became.
Any. Yeah, man, there's hardly any black
listen,
folk.
it was few and far between. And remember, The only mans who lived in Erdington, if you was black, you was either already there, mans like Anthony, you was either already there, so your mom found like come here and got a yard in Erdington directly. So you was either already there, which was a handful of people,
and then
or your parents moved from another part of the city when they got a decent job. So my mom got a full-time job as a nurse, had a fixed income, a better income, and they bought a house in Erdington. So that's when we crossed the bridge. I never moved to Erdington till I was like in year 3. So I started off in Lee Bank. I was born in Lee Bank essentially and stayed in Lee Bank until year 2. I went to a school called St. Catherine's right on the front there.
Oh shit, St.
There you go.
There. So
that's where I went, St. Catherine's. You see what I'm saying? So then we crossed the bridge, and when we got there, any black person who was in Erdington, your mom was either a nurse, a job like that, a nurse, a teacher,
social worker.
Social worker, nurse. It was that kind of person that was there because what it was is black people from around the city were moving there, so they thought you'd have a better chance of your child going to a better school.
Yes.
And then when man's hit Mary and John's, St. Mary's and St. John's, when I hit that, I remember that it was only Gabriel in the class who was black. At the time when I joined, it was, he's mixed race, but it was just him. Then I come in, you know what I mean? Then I came in, and that was Erdington at that point. And it was that until I was like a teenager.
Remember, I was there before you. So when I was there, it was just me and my sisters.
There you go, in Mary's and John's. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So now it's a thing now where what had happened was at that time, everyone moved in and everyone started it was them elders. You got to remember what I said. Teachers, social workers, nurses. One of my brethren's mom was an airline, what's what they called? Flight attendant. So it was them kind of people. So it was all like that kind of person who was down there. As man started growing up, a couple more would move in. Boom, couple more. Zach Knight, big up Zach Knight, original ERD. Slade Road business.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. Then it'll be like, boom, Michael Ricketts, shout out. Darius Vassell, shout out. All these men from back in the day. And then it would be, boom, couple more men would come in. Couple more. That's how it worked. Then it just built from there. And you see what you got going on today. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Argentina's government encouraged European immigration and interracial marriages to whiten the population. Over time, many Afro-Argentines were reclassified as white in records, gradually breeding out visible black identity without fully erasing Afro-Argentine descendants. Folks, these are things that the glasses are on for. A lot of man don't understand how them adverts started to change in the 2010s. Go back and look, man. Didn't see there was a lot of shows and things like that. I remember when I was a youth, because EastEnders, man used to watch it, and the writers there was a black doctor with a bald head, and he was checking this girl who was like a slag in that world, and she was just disrespecting him. And I remember there was a scene when he come. This is the last day I watched EastEnders. Facts. There was the last day I never watched it again. The doctor came. Any of you man who watch EastEnders from back then, the doctor came in this limo and he was out the roof. It was like the LL Cool J video. You remember that? I can love you better. He's out the roof, and he had the flowers and that. And she came out and she goes, "Nah, man, you know me. I'm just a West End girl, really." And she just moved away from the limo and went out with the girls on the piss, as they call it. And I remember I looked at it, I sat down, you know, when the dum, and I didn't even get up. I sat there like this, you know.
Dumb joke.
I didn't even move until one of my sisters said, "Mark, you all right?" I sat there like this. And I said, "Listen, don't ever put that back on the screen again." And I never watched it since, because them things were done purposely. You gotta have the glasses on, though. Aisha. But people are so far gone, they can't even connect the dots from our past to now. Fact. Hawaii as well. Not sure in context what that was.
What you just talking about with Africa?
Yes, Hawaii. Okay. Okay. Deep knowledge.
That wasn't necessarily. pardon myself, that wasn't necessarily a governmental program. That was just done nasty. That was just done crazy. They killed a lot of the males first, and then da. Yeah, that's a slightly different flex, but same outcome.
Wisdom is most important, but many men and women didn't get that memo. No, facts. That's what I'm saying. They didn't get it. They didn't get the teaching. Like, no one really sat down and said, yo, like, this is what I said. You have to strategically place imagery and things like that around that children ask questions so they see it. Like, look here. Can you see that? Blade on my door. That's Blade. You get me? That's Blade. Xavier, off Marsh Hill School, early 2000s. It was working class white area. To live in Erdington back then as a black person was a flex. Facts. Xavier, you from ERD? Because that's fact. Northmans don't see it. They don't understand. That was the place, yeah. That man's went. People went. A couple people went to like Stetchford. Where else? You know the places that black people went, and North black people went to like the outskirts, like West Bromwich. You get what I'm saying? And North, it was that kind of thing where man just didn't want to be in them inner city areas because the problems were brewing from then. Cat Slater, that was it. That was it. I started watching when they made Rudolph Walker's character have an affair with Pat Butcher. That must have been after me.
That was nuts. That was nuts. That thing was still. I've stopped watching it well before that, man. It's just, as you say, it's just, yeah. It was entertaining back in the day when you were young and stuff. But when you get to have a little bit of knowledge and wisdom, and you start looking at this shit, and you're like, this is a madness. And then when they start putting the black people, like, what about I can't remember her name now. This is going back. You should remember this character. There was a thick sistrin, dark skin, and she was like a nurse or something like that.
In EastEnders?
Yeah. And she had like a lesbian relationship with Cat Slater's little was it a daughter or not a daughter?
But I would have stopped watching it by then.
Nah, man, this was early, man. This is early.
Now, but remember, Cat Slater at the time when I was watching it was checking that doctor. I don't think she had a child.
No, do you remember she had a long lost child that came in and all that business?
Nah, it was her sister. It was her sister.
Her sister.
Yeah, she had. But remember, at the time I was watching it, you didn't find out it was her daughter yet.
Oh, scheme.
Zoe or something her name was.
Zoe, that
yeah. Something like, I remember, man. I remember that.
Yeah.
Man really grew up in
Sonia,
the UK.
That's it.
Sonia.
No,
you're on about Phil and Grant's. Oh, okay.
No, Sonia started having some lesbian relationship with the sistrin who was a nurse. It was out the blue, this weird stuff, man. Yeah, man, with the black. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Aisha. It was just nuts. And from then I was like, come on, man. What are we doing? Why do we have to do this? It's not necessary. I know it's they're trying to push the thing, but from when I saw that,
he was out
there. Yeah, man, I was done.
Out like Dragon's Den, man.
For real, I'm out.
I'm out. It's the truth, man. Now I had to lock off from that because I remember when I seen that and I said, "Yo, you mean to tell me that's a doctor, a black doctor, a doctor?" At that time, that was a prestigious. Now it ain't, but back then, man's a doctor. You was probably on about, in them days, 65 clap a year.
Easy. Especially down south.
That's what I'm saying. And you're checking girl who's going to the pub. Joe,
Scott's pockets. You know what? Because he saw the video in it, man. Because remember, the backstory to it was wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is that there was a videotape going around Cat Slater around South London. And then he was like, yo, I'm going to need to get a piece of this Cat Slater. Jumped into the thing. Bob's your uncle. Jibble your pears.
There was an interracial lesbian couple even before that in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one too. That's when I was young. That was.
Yeah. You gotta. Yeah, this is. It's been a journey. That's what we're getting at. It's been a journey, and a lot of things have been strategically done. Let's just put it like that. And a lot of men, they're only thinking about now. And I get it. That's cool and all that. And you've got free will to do what you want, but you can't be upset with other men who don't want to live like that. That's all I'm saying. People, I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to watch the stream in full, consider becoming a Patreon or joining our YouTube members. And don't forget to hit the like button, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.